Welcome to Meisha's Element.
Hi, my name is Misha and I am 35 years old. I am blind and I am a mother and wife. I have a message for anyone who has children who are visually impaired or blind, whether they are adults or very young children. I know that you probably have a lot of anxiety. I know that you are probably worried, even if they are as old as I am. I can tell you personally that my mother still to this day worries all the time and has lots of concerns. And I respect her and I respect her concerns, and I've learned to try to be as understanding as possible. But I want you to realize something. Your lack of faith, it hurts your children. One of the best things you can do for your kid, one of the best gifts you can give them, is to just have faith in them and trust in them and believe in them. I'm not saying don't worry. I'm not saying don't check up. I'm just saying have a little faith. If you've raised this kid and you taught good values to this person, if this kid is doing well in school, if this kid has some independent skills, you have less to worry about. They know something. Even if they're just 5 or 4 and they're just learning to read, that's something. Be proud of that little milestone, even if they're blind. One little milestone is a big milestone for us. I want you to realize it's gonna be okay. If you just found out your baby's blind or gonna be blind for the rest of their life, it's gonna be okay. Your child can have a great, successful life. But one of the main keys to that is for you to have confidence and faith in them first. For them to have confidence and faith in themselves. For them to be successful. That confidence and that faith must come first. Be their biggest cheerleader, their biggest supporter. Just like if you would if they were fully sighted and wanted to do professional sports or become a pop star or something. I want you to know your kid is capable and able. There are many tools and resources out there to help your child. This ain't the 1920s. This ain't the 1900s or the early 1900s. We live in a time where being visually impaired is amazing because of all the resources, all the technology available to us, and it is amazing how far technology has come to assist us in everyday life. I'm not saying your kid can go to college and become a neurosurgeon or be an Uber driver. That might be possible if these Google driving cars ever exist, everyone's talking about, or these flying cars or whatever. But realistically, no, they can't drive a car right now. No, they can't fly a plane. No, they can't be a surgeon, but they can do so many other amazing things. I know many blind people who are doing great things. I know blind people who are lawyers. I know blind people who are social workers, psychologists, authors, music producers, like doing crazy, amazing things, supervisor at plants. And when they tell the community about these things and their successes, they're like, how do you do that? And they're just amazed, but it's out there, it's real, and it happens. Also, there are many communities out there you can reach out to on social media where you can get these resources and support and help. And there's also other parents out there who are having the same struggles or experiences you are, and concerns and worries. I want you to realize my family was worried about me. I bet you my family thought I would never be where I am today. They probably thought I would still be stuck at home with my mom in some small town, nowhere, doing nothing with my life. But look at me. I'm a social media content producer. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I've been to college. I've done many things. I've traveled on planes. I've done more in my life than some of the sighted people I know in my family have ever done that are my age or a little older than me. I can tell you that personally. And that's that. I know people in my family who've never flown on a plane. who've never ridden on a Amtrak train because they've been scared. They've been stuck in these no town, going nowhere places. And me as a visually impaired blind person, I've actually been more brave and wanted to try things and do things and been more accepting of it. One thing you should know too is that for some visually impaired people, I can't say for all, but for some of us, it puts a lot of pressure on us also, the lack of faith from family and friends, because we're getting it already from the general public and communities and people around us in school, church, or whatever. So that extra pressure does not help when it's coming from the people who are supposed to love us and support us the most. You know what I mean? It's a lot of pressure, especially when you're adults and you're becoming first-time parents like myself. A lot of pressure. And I feel like that pressure is going to be there until my daughter's an adult. I feel like I have something to prove. People will tell me every day I don't have nothing to prove, but you know what? I feel like I got something to prove. Not just to them, but mainly to myself. Like, I want to be successful. I want to do this, and I want to do it right, and I want to do it good. You can be a grandmother. You can be a grandfather. If that's what your kid wants, if they want to be a parent, they can be successful at them with it. You got to show them how to navigate life, how to be a good partner in life, how to be a good parent by just doing it yourself. To show them that love and that care, but also show them to be careful, be responsible, be aware. When you're out in public, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of who you're communicating with, who you're letting into your private life. I always say that to even a sighted person, but mainly to a blind person, because people will use that as a weakness. Also, look at it this way. How many times have you heard on the news about blind people being cut up or found dead or tragically killed by a car accident? You rarely ever hear about that. We naturally have to be careful, or we're naturally just sheltered. Or if we're not sheltered, we're naturally just being extra careful because that's just how we were taught, or the extra pressure to be careful and to be aware of our surroundings in our life and to make sure we're safe. Like, even when I had a little bit of vision, I was always like extra careful about where I was, what I was doing, especially crossing streets and stuff like that. Like, you never hear about stuff like that. Hardly ever hear something about that, about blind people. You hear about that with sighted people. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because it does, but you hear more about it with just like regular everyday people, because they just don't care. They're not paying attention. They think that because they got eyesight, they can see 20/20, that like they're bulletproof. Like, it's hard for anything bad to happen to them. And that's why it happens to them the most. You know what I mean? I just want you to know that life can be amazing and life can be great. A couple of weeks ago, we had my daughter's first birthday party. It was an amazing experience. My family was there for me and they showed up, and it like made my heart melt. And I just felt like a regular mom, you know? I didn't feel like a blind mom for a few hours. I just felt like a regular mom. Yeah, I was walking around the room with no sight and just trying to just do whatever. But I enjoyed myself, you know? There was no pressure, no worrying about what I was doing or how I was doing it. I was just being me. And yeah, people were taking care of the food and cutting the cake. Well, I looked at it as, hey, I get a break from it. I get to just chill and relax. If they want to take care of it, let them take care of it. And also, if you're visually impaired and blind and listening to this, be loving with your parents. Be understanding. Try to understand from their perspective, because they just love you. They just care about you. It's hard. My daughter is sighted, but if I were sighted and she were visually impaired or blind, I would like to think that I would be open-minded and I wouldn't be like sheltering her too much and like keeping her from experiencing life. I would like to think that I would like let her experience life in a safe way and let her, and not push her away, because in some cases that can push people away. But my daughter is fully sighted, praise the Lord. I'm glad for that. Not for me, for her, because I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. And I'm not saying that it's like the worst thing in the world. I'm just saying that personally, I don't want this for anyone, being blind. I don't want it for anyone. But it's a thing. It's real. It exists. It's real. It's our lives. And we gotta deal with it. And it can be a beautiful life and a beautiful experience. It's all about how you embrace it and how you look at it. Life is what you make it. Positive thoughts will give you positive results. I don't know what you guys think of this, but I hope it will help somebody, even if it's just one person, because life is short. Even if we live 120 years, life is short. We need to cherish the people and the moments that we have.